lock eyes with the princess. She's beautiful. I am begging you to stay.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day.
Okay, I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your... Is someone else here? You make your way to the bottom of the... Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here to...
She barely hesitates before raising her arm as she rips her flesh from her bone. A sound comes. It's the blade from upstairs. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that. Without hesitation, you bring the blade down and plunge it into the print. The wound drives her to the ground. Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
You bastard. Were you lying to me this whole time?
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of...
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt you. I'm not so sure. Don't waver now. As you ready your blades to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal. Your knife cuts into her again and again as your tackle. Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well. You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your... We can still turn this around. You steel your resolve and take another step closer to the princess. You probably won't make it out of here alive. Excuse me? What's this about not making it out of here alive? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone in this room is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those gashes and holes pulling you apart? If the princess doesn't do you in here, blood... You take another step forward, and the princess lunges towards you. The two of you enter one last exchange, a flurry of blade and claw and fleshy ribbons. And then you stop. Either you collapse on the ground, and the princess collapses beside you. Blood pools around you both, and you watch each other fade away.
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another monster, weren't you?
Silence. As the room starts to get fuzzy. You've paid a terrible price, but you've saved us all.
If you think this is it, you're sorely mistaken.
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods. You're hit. A warning. She will lie. Don't worry. The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just... The blade is your implement. You take the blade from the shelf. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world. Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs. That's not actually about... The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs... Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are.
She must have you confused with someone else. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring.
And there you are, one hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
She's acting like the two of you already know each other. Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you? That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great. Do you remember us then? Do you remember last time? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I'm just glad we could put all... Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where... Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
Ooh, smart. Let's apologize, get us back on the right foot.
Oh, you're sorry. Isn't that nice? You're such a gracious little monster. Well, if you're sorry, then let me out of here. Oh, I don't need you to cut me out.
The princess grins as the chains fall from her wrist. She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart, really. She knows how to hold her cards close to her chest. This is why she can't just be abandoned here. If left to her own devices, she'll find a way out. Now stop her.
The cabin lets prying little beasts like you come as you please, but it insists I stay where I am. That binding I shed is just a symbol of the crueler magic at work in this place. If I'm to leave, I'm to leave with you, and you alone. You were the one who stabbed me in the back when I was still in chains. A dirty little thing like you doesn't get to decide when all is fair. Yes, let's.
She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face. She never breaks eye contact, even as the two of you find yourselves face to face. She's silent for a long moment, as if testing to see what you'll do now that she's within arm's reach.
After you, darling. You're the one it lets come and go. It's best if I follow.
Oh no, we can't have that. If anyone is going to turn their back on anyone else, she's going to turn her back. It shouldn't matter who leads and who follows. We're working together here. Well, if it doesn't matter, then she can go first. We're armed and she's not. What's she gonna do? Bite us when we're not looking? You're talking a lot about trusting someone who, by her very definition, cannot be trusted. I don't know how many more warnings I have to dole out.
That's right. You're the one who's going first. Don't worry, I'll be right behind you watching every single thing you do.
That's exactly what I'm worried about. You step onto the stairs and begin your ascent from the basement. The princess follows close on your heels, perhaps even a little closer than you'd like. You're only saying that because you want us to feel nervous. I do want those things, but I want them for a good reason. Can we walk backwards up the stairs? I think that's the smarter idea. She can't sneak in and attack if we're No! The stairs are a bunch of overgrown roots. You'll trip and hurt yourself. But the princess is silent as you both continue the climb, and isn't that a relief? We're fine. You're not even going to wait until you're through that door to proudly claim your victory, are you? Why did you just say that? I think we know why. You feel something dig into your shoulder, sharp and piercing. Together you tumble back down the uneven stairs, your body and hers crashing against the unyielding wooden roots, until finally you both separate with a bone-shaking thud against the basement. The princess lands against the far wall, gasping as she struggles to recover from the impact. You're still in shock, trying to get a hold of yourself. She grins as you continue to remain exactly where you are, cackling derisively as she watches you realise that you won't be getting... Wait, why won't we be getting up? I'm afraid your back is broken. One unlucky fall is all it takes, really, and you... You know what? I'll say it. That sucks. We were going to help her. Why? Why did she do that? It's what I would have done. Have you considered not being like that? Of course not. It's what keeps us alive. And yet here we are, paralysed and stuck with someone who hates us in the basement of a remote cabin.
You must have known this was coming. The arrogance of turning your back to me after everything you've done. Why would I ever trust you? Your hands have spilled my blood. And knowing that, you should never have trusted me either. You should have known I would never walk hand in hand with a loathsome thing like you. By our very natures, only one of us could make it upstairs unscathed. Someone had to make the first move. Better me than you.
See, this is why I wanted her to go first. I had this whole little scheme planned where she'd turn her back on us and I'd say, "Now stab her in the back!" And then you'd say something like, "Wow, that's an amazing idea that I never saw coming." And then you would have done it and we wouldn't be stuck down here with a broken back. Why didn't you tell us your plan? Biff, because then you'd have had to lie to her. And you're a terrible liar. That's not... Okay, it would have been a good point if it had actually worked. Well, it's not my fault that nobody listened to me. The princess's body twitches as she tries to get up. Ho ho ho! So she's got it as bad as us.
Something inside me is broken. Isn't that a cruel twist of the knife? Isn't that so funny?
She eyes you with intensity. Silence.
Seems I'm not the only one, though.
Wait, are we both just stuck here? Certainly seems that way. What a way to go. Look on the bright side. In all this chaos, you may have actually managed to deliver a lethal wound.
We're going to die together. Isn't that a lovely treat? I wonder how long it'll take. Maybe I'll get to watch the worms lick your bones clean.
Is that really what's going to happen? Hello? Are you still there? I think he's gone.
Something strange is twisting this place out of shape. I wasn't feeling much of anything, but now I feel cold. Bring me. She asks that I tell you to remember. You won't.
You can't be serious. Now, hold on. We should put this to a vote. As do I. I, abstain? You abstain? She's going to kill us if we give it to her. You're going to get everyone killed. You know that, right? But of course you do. You toss the blade at the princess's feet. She eyes it with suspicion before kneeling down to pick it up.
I wouldn't have done that. Why did you?
She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face.
What do you think happens now?
Her shoulders tense and her eyes dart away.
This is another trick. You're trying to sow doubt, but it's not going to work on me.
And then she buries the blade in your heart. What? No, come on, that's not right. I told you. This is glee dances across her face as you fall to the ground.
I did it. I got you. You...
The princess seems to tremble, her smile fading quickly, replaced with concern.
Why? Why did you let me do this?
But you don't have the strength to respond, nor do you have the time. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods. I can't believe she actually stabbed us. I told you not to give her the blade. I told you it would come around to bite us. Yeah, we know. You already got your I told you so's in while we were bleeding out. I just wanted to make sure that everyone here knows that I was and am. Oh, you're far from being on the right side of anything. You're fixated on the past. Ho-ho, a visionary. Gladly, my dear fellow, by cruelly turning on the princess in her moment of vulnerability, we made ourselves an enemy. But by mastering... I like journeys. Travelling is a bit of a passion of mine. It makes me so relatable. Well, if we're lucky, it's a journey to love. She hates us. Does she? She hesitated before stabbing us to death. As ridiculous as this guy is, maybe he has a point. I don't know if I necessarily buy into his whole love journey thing. Maybe she won't be as keen to betray us this time. We've already proven to her that we can change. So maybe she'll realise that things don't have... You know, maybe you're right. In which case, I suppose the only thing to do is to get back to the cabin. Give what another try exactly? You are aware I've been listening to you, right? It makes no difference if we conspire in the shadows or bear our intentions with open hearts. Oh, are you now? Great. So you've obviously been here before, since you apparently died at least once. Twice, actually. Sure. Twice. Then I'll spare you the little introduction I had planned. What do you want me to say? It's bad that you've been here before. It's bad. So you knew this could happen? Theoretically, sure, I knew this could happen, but I don't care about where we came from, and I don't care to discuss the... Then we can all move on. It's important that you believe in yourself, and the fact you're here probably means that you still have a chance to pull this off and save the world. I need to stop talking. She gets out is what happens. Maybe not right away, but eventually. And a world that's doomed tomorrow is just as bad as a... He's a bummer, isn't he? All doom this and doom that. There's more to the world than how and when it will end. Love. Whatever you do, don't listen to this one. He's ridiculous. It isn't long before you find yourself at the base of the cabin. I think it's clear where everyone stands at this point. I don't know if I'd say everyone. Are you talking about me? I have a position. It's a good one too. Ignore him, he's just talking for talking's sake. My position is the only one. The interior of the cabin is hardly an interior at all anymore. The burned out ruins merely suggest the shape of the structure that once stood here. The only furniture of note is the crisp shell of what was once a table. We gave it to her last time. She can't... Well, it's not here. And if she has it, let me guess, you want to get all chummy with her. Look, as far as I see it, if it's between him and her, I say we side with the one who has the weapon. I wouldn't be so hasty. I'm sure the blade will turn up somewhere. She can't have it. That's not how this is supposed. If she does have it, that's all the more reason to put our faith in her. Unless her heart tells her to stab us, which doesn't seem unlikely. Yeah, why didn't you mention... I didn't mention a mirror because there isn't a mirror. But he says there isn't one. That's got to count for something, right? Either way, I say we take a look. It feels like it's been forever since we've actually seen our... Yeah, we can't go around looking disheveled. So, is the door to the... I promise you there isn't a mirror, and there isn't a door to the basement. The entrance is more of a... You step forward and approach the scorched entryway leading to the basement. You know what you have to do. Wipe away the grit from the mirror, and behold our hand. You reach forward and wave your hand through the hollow entrance leading to the basement. You really thought there was a mirror there, didn't you? Alas, our fine features remain unseen. We'll just have to trust the chill. Well, seems like the only way to go is forward. Yes, that's where everything tends to be. Let's just put on a good face and have our... You step through the frame of scorched wood and make your way into the darkness below. The stairs to the basement are covered in a fine layer of gritty ash. The air still feels warm, as if the fires that ruined this place had only... Their spines point courteously down towards the basement, so you're able to brush past their jagged points with ease. These thorns are an expression of her pain. I know it. She's caught... Her voice, worn down by pain and suspicion, hobbles up the step.
I can't get away from you, can I? We kill each other and you come back. You let me kill you and you come back. I don't know why you let me do that. I don't know what you want from me. I think you know how this goes. I'm down here and I can't leave. So come down and talk. It's not like I can stop you.
You continue down the basement stairs, brushing past the smooth edges of thorns that grow more and more plentiful as you make your way forward. You step out into what was once a vast open cavern, now overrun by briars and prickles and thistles. At the heart of it all, encased in a tight weave of vines, is the princess.
Did you know this was going to happen to me? Are you here to watch me suffer? Are you here to laugh?
Do you really think you can just wash your hands of all of this? Do you really think you can just leave me here?
This is even better than stabbing her. The same reward without any of that nasty effort. It's not even better. Putting off a choice is always worse than making a committed decision, especially when you already know the right answer. It's even more cruel if you ask me. Leaving an incredible soul like hers to languish forever in pain. We'll live with it just fine. Besides, she'll get over it. That's what I'm afraid of. But as you approach the basement stairs, you make a grim realization. The thorns won't let you leave. We don't have any way to cut through them. Okay, new plan. We re-befriend the princess, get the blade, and all of us leave here together as...
You can't leave without me, can you? Isn't that funny? Isn't that so funny? This is perfect, actually. Just you and me rotting down here forever, together.
It's what we deserve after everything we've done. It's romantic, even.
You know, just to make sure things are a little more permanent, I think I'm going to take this particular needle out of the picture.
She wouldn't. Thorns slice into the princess's hands, lacerating what little skin remains as she raises the blade to her. Take it now, before she swallows it out of spite. You rush towards the princess, arms outstretched and grasping for the blade. But as you tear through her thistled prison, the thorny vines dig deep into your arms. seemingly growing thicker and sturdier the closer you get to your goal. It's no use, even if we grab it, we won't be able to pull it back out of there. It's better than letting her eat it and losing it forever. You just manage to reach her hand, grasping it firmly in yours before the thorns finally trap you in place. Blood trickles down your arm, mingling with hers. The two...
We're stuck like this, aren't we? I knew this was always going to be how it ended.
You stand in place among the thorns, inert. She actually did it. Good for her. But extremely not good for us. Blood trickles down the corner of her. She smiles.
There. Isn't this just perfect?
I want to trust you.
Her grip tightens on the blade.
But you're hiding something, aren't you? Why would you help me if you weren't helping yourself?
The princess clutches the blade closer to her chest.
That sounds nice. I'm so tired of the bad blood between us, but it's hard to let it go.
Her eyes dart away from yours for a brief moment.
And I've also hurt you. I don't know. What can either of us really say at this point? How can we trust something as hollow as words?
She's right, there's nothing left to say. So let's get a move on and do something before she comes up with a scheme to get out of here on her own. We don't need words to send a message. It is through action that we can show her our adoration, our devotion. Her eyes briefly meet yours, then dart back to the floor. She hangs her head in resignation.
Okay.
You reach towards her bloodied hands, laying your palm on her trembling fingers. For a moment, she clutches it even tighter, her knuckles going white with the effort. But then the tension fades. Her grip finally loosens and she allows you to take the weapon. You carefully pull it free from the thorns, though they scrape at your skin, leaving red trickles of fresh blood all along your arms. She trusts us. She trusts us. Doesn't that set your heart off? Yeah, a little. It could just be nerves. Being this close to her does bring back unpleasant memories. We are special to have gained an ounce of trust from a maiden so guarded. Yeah, let's do it. Let's show her how much both of us have changed. Or, hear me out, we slay her. Right here, right now. She's never been so helpless, and if we don't take... That sounds like a splendid idea. You should listen to him. I see that the lines have been... It's 2 against 1. It's 2 against 2. You don't count. And why shouldn't he count? Because he's clearly not one of us. That doesn't matter. He's been with us the whole time. He should get a say.
So, did you mean it? Or was I a fool to hand my life to you?
Yes, what a good idea. Let's cut her free. Oh, so you're suddenly team free her. You can't just switch sides as soon as we make a decision. I can do whatever I want, and I believe with my whole heart that this... Everyone deserves a chance at redemption. Let him join us and be merry. That's right. We've already given him a chance at redemption. And who says I don't deserve another? I really mean it this time. I'm big enough to admit when I'm wrong. And I have no problem with that. Welcome to the team. You're one of us. You take the blade to the thorny vines imprisoning the princess, and she flinches, relaxing only slightly as the blade slices into the thick vegetation. She flinches again as the last of the vines is cut away, as if, after all of that, she's still expecting you to turn on her and stab her in the heart. But you're not going to do such a pathetic attempt at distraction and subterfuge. Our blade is a dashing sword. You're right. He can't even make it slip, can he? He's a bit of a nobody. Good thing I've been on your side. The princess falls into your arms, tears streaking down her cheeks. I can't believe you're making me describe this.
You actually meant it. You rescued me.
Do you see the way she's looking at us? Kiss her. Kiss her now Can we actually do that? No, you can't. Absolutely not. You know as well as I do that we can. And we wouldn't want to throw away a chance for a special if I were only capable of throwing myself off a bridge. Well, are you going to describe our steamy, romantic kiss? You lean in and you kiss her. And she reciprocates enthusiastically. You kiss. It's done. Are you happy now? Come on now, this is the big moment. Ugh, fine. You and the princess lock eyes and stare deep into each other's souls with all the roaring emotion that comes from letting... Are you making fun of us? And then each of you close your eyes and kiss. Words can describe neither the nuclear fire nor the... Please. I think he actually likes romance. If history itself were not about to end, historians would document this moment for the rest of time. Musicians would write era-defined... He's making fun of us. It doesn't matter either way, because this is... I'm aware of my skills. But unfortunately for you, the moment doesn't last forever. You open your eyes, the princess smiles gently up at you. Time for you to damn the whole world to oblivion, I suppose.
That was nice.
Her hand slips into yours, and the two of you rush to the basement stairs. Shameful, really, that the same thorns that so graciously allowed you downstairs are now blocking your only way out. Please, after all the trials we've been through, do you really think a few measly thorns can stop us? We cut through those other vines just fine, they're only thorns. But I'm not even sure we need to do any cutting, we can just...
A few pointy sticks can't keep us down here. We're both meant for so much more than this.
As you swing your blade into the thorns covering the basement stairs, they yield. Both you and the princess ascend the stairs without obstacle. This is unacceptable. The second you step out of this cabin with her, the world ends. Do you hear me? Your nightmare is our dream. Whatever world would condemn star-crossed lovers like us to a cycle of violence, we'll weave something new together. You and the princess hesitate at the cabin door. This is your last chance. We've already made our decision.
We're finally leaving here together, aren't we? And all we had to do was trust each other. It wasn't easy, but I'm glad we finally could.
Hands clasped, the two of you open the door and step out into a new day, you irredeemable murderers.
What do we do now? Where's everything going? Why is it so cold?